Welcome back, y'all. Finally, we got more information on Operation 3. Up until now, we've just kind of gotten little bits of info in the last couple of weeks, but now we have a full-on sort of patch notes for Operation 3. I will be putting a link in the description down below, as always, if you want to follow along or take a look at it yourself, because I will only be going over stuff that interests me personally, although most of this is actually worth talking about, so get ready because this is a long one. First off, Operation 3 is named Gridiron. Now the reason it's named Gridiron is because they are introducing a brand new game mode called Gridiron. This game mode is interesting, to say the least. I don't know if it's my type of game mode. I'm definitely going to give it a shot before I throw it under the bus, but as of right now, the description of it doesn't really sell me on the game mode. It's a 5v5 game mode, and it's single elimination, which means you only get one life. And the objective of this game mode is that a ball will spawn. Your teammate must grab the ball and carry it to the enemy's end zone. So they're part of the map, and you got to hold it there for 5 seconds. And once you do that, you score for your team 2 points. And in order to win the match, you have to score 13 points. Now, in order to score points, as I said, one of the ways to earn points is by scoring the ball by standing in their end zone for 5 seconds. Another way to earn points is by eliminating the squad completely. As I said, it's a single elimination, and the final way to earn points is just by holding the ball by the time the timer ends, the round ends. So there is a time limit. You can't just run around. I assume because game modes like this, people will be either camping with the ball or just, you know, I've seen game modes like this and they can go on for a long time, which is why I say not necessarily my cup of tea. But I am interested to see like how it'll play out, so I'll definitely give it a shot. And something else that this game mode actually does differently is that weapon placements are different compared to every other game mode, and the reason they're doing this is because as I said, you only have one life, so according to them, these weapon placements are aimed to deliver the best one life experience possible. So yeah, there you go. As I said, I'm gonna give it a shot, but so far I'm not necessarily sold on it. Alright, on to possibly the most important part of any operation, the characters that are being introduced. If you watched my video yesterday, then you'll know that some of the characters kind of got leaked, even though some of them were already basically confirmed to come out. We have full-on confirmation that these characters are going to be introduced in Operation 3. And first character is the Cole Train, Augustus Cole. I don't know why he wasn't in the game from the start. He's finally in the game 6 months later, a staple of the Gears of War franchise. I don't know what took them so long, but finally Cole Train is going to be in the game. Now, he does have a whole bunch of skills dedicated specifically to Horde mode and arcade, so I recommend you check it out in the description below. As I said, I'll have the link for you to read on this on your own because it is a lot. But some important stuff to take note of is that he is going to be an offensive character, and his ultimate ability in Horde will be that he creates like a fire trail that burns enemies. And he also has a rather interesting melee. His melee is different compared to everybody else's. He has a very powerful punch that can stun enemies, and he can even melee while roadie running. And while roadie running, he'll do his signature thrash ball tackle, which will give him stim if he kills an enemy with it. So he's bringing in some new mechanics, which is really cool, and I'm hoping that more characters down the future introduce new mechanics like this. Alright, enough about Cole Train. Next up, we have somebody who is just as anticipated as the Cole Train, and that's Clayton Carmine. Again, he was basically confirmed from the Gridiron Operation 3 teaser, like a wallpaper thing that they gave us with them holding a flag. But now we have full-on confirmation. And again, as I said in my last video, they kind of leaked all the Carmine brothers, but in this patch notes they only tell us about Clayton Carmine. So hopefully the other Carmine brothers are released later on in Operation 3. But on to his abilities and his role in Horde and PvE. So his role is going to be a tank. Reading this, I find it very similar to Mac that we already have from Escape. But his ultimate ability is going to be a sort of a shield that deflects bullets. That's basically what Mac has. From the image that they gave us, it looks like the shield surrounds him everywhere, like he gets put in a bubble, whereas Mac puts up a shield right in front of him that deflects bullets. So I'm guessing he's gonna have very similar play style to Mac. They also give us the entire list of his PvE skill cards, so definitely check that out. Again, link in the description if you want to read through every single card and see what each single effect does, if that interests you. I myself not a big horde player, but some of this stuff does look really interesting. Now onto the villains that they are giving us in Operation 3. First up, Queen Mira. Everybody kind of saw this one coming from the leak that happened a few days ago, so I'm glad she is confirmed to come out in Operation 3. And looking at her abilities for Arcade, she seems to be basically the counterpart to Coltrane. Her ability is that she'll leave a trail of fire behind her while getting kills, so she's basically the Coltrane for the Swarm side. But oh my goodness, thank goodness they finally brought Queen Mira. She played a pretty important role in the story, so I'm not sure why she wasn't included from the start. But onto the other character that we are being given as far as villains go. From the trend we've noticed is that they give us 2 heroes and 2 villains at the start, and then later on they'll probably give us a few more. But the other character that we are getting for villains is Therengard. Also was leaked a few days ago in the Microsoft conference, so pretty glad he got fully confirmed. Now he has a rather interesting ability for versus, and I'm looking forward to playing it. He's probably gonna be the first character I unlock, but his ability is that headshot kills with precision weapons produce an area of effect explosion damage. So you know, he's gonna be very deadly with snipers. Like, they give you a hint, stay away from enemies or stay away from your friendlies if you know that somebody has a sniper, because his headshot kills will cause an explosion around them. Again, another cool mechanic that we haven't seen before, so really glad they're giving us, you know, not just like reskins of already existing characters, but I'm glad that they get their own unique abilities. Enough about characters, onto something that is just as important as new characters being introduced in Operations is the maps. Sadly, we have not had a lot of luck with maps these last couple months, and by that I mean we don't get very many maps. So this time around, we're going to get 2 maps right from the start. The first map is Pahanu. This is a brand new map to Gears 5, and it sounds really interesting from the description they give us. It has a lot of rifle positions, it's got a lot of good flanking routes, it's got a set of ruins. It basically offers a little bit of everything for the type of player you want to be. If you want to stay kind of back and pick people off with your Lancer or a long shot, or do you want to get in close, you know, quarters with a Nasher, because from the description it seems like you can do both. I'm really looking forward to this map, seeing as the way they make it sound, it's like something we've never had in Gears 5 or Gears in general, because a lot of the cover is organic is what they say. So there's going to be lots of trees, lots of foliage covering your sights, stuff like that. So really hyped for this map. Now next up, a map that is possibly one of the, you know, top maps in Gears in general, up there with Blood Drive and Gridlock. It's Canals, a very fan favorite map. It's been in the series since Gears of War 1. It's been in, I think, every Gears of War except for 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, it might not have been in Judgment, but we had it in Gears of War 4, and in Gears of War 4 it got a pretty nice kind of like HD remastered, and that's the version we're going to be getting in Gears 5, which was a really nice looking map in Gears of War 4, let's be honest. So really hype to get Canals in Gears 5 as well. It looks like the Coalition wants to give us a brand new map and a returning fan favorite map, which I think is a pretty good way of going at it, seeing as a lot of their own original maps have not been very welcoming, I guess. The community doesn't really like a lot of the new maps, and I agree with them. Some of these new maps in Gears 5 have been pretty bad. Allfathers is alright. It did have quite a lot of bugs on release, but most of those have been fixed. So yeah, Allfathers was an alright map. So I'm glad that they're giving fans maps that, you know, they know we will enjoy with Canals. Canals and Pahanu aren't the only quote-unquote new maps we're going to be getting. We're also going to be getting 2 more maps for 2v2 Nashers. The first one being Arena, which is going to be a smaller version of Allfather's Arena. And the other one is going to be Annex, which is a smaller version of an already existing map that is usually, I think it's only for free-for-all, but this is going to be similar to Boxes, where it's just centered in the middle. Okay, now on to the final part of Operation 3 that they have let us know about in this update slash patch notes, and that is the Tour of Duty. The Tour of Duty is going to get some changes because As we know, the community has also not been a huge fan of the way that they have handled the Tour of Duty and unlocking certain cosmetics. Operation 1 was horrible. Operation 2 saw some good improvements, but it's still not necessarily perfect. And now with Operation 3, they are going to be kind of doing a small revamp of how the Tour of Duty works. So let's take a look at that right now. The two major changes that are coming to the Tour of Duty in Operation 3 is that you will now have more objectives, and the objectives are those daily objectives that you get. They roll around. Those are the ones that are like get 25 kills with a certain character, or complete a certain amount of waves in a horde, or escape, you know, a certain amount of hives, stuff like that. They're changing it so now instead of having 3, you're going to be having 4. Now, 2 of those are going to be tied specifically to getting kills. So it's going to be either getting kills as like Foz, that's a very common one, or get, you know, like 10 kills with locust weapons, something like that. 2 of those are going to be specifically for those types of objectives, and the other 2 are going to be respectively 1 for PvP and 1 for PvE. We don't quite know what kind of challenges these are going to be, but I assume it's going to be things like you know, complete a match of King of the Hill, or complete a match on a certain map, which I know the community hates to get that because it's a flip of the coin depending on whether or not you're going to get that certain map. And the second major change we're getting is that you will now be able to earn stars just by playing the game. And I don't mean completing challenges, because, you know, just by playing the game you're going to be making progress towards certain challenges. But the way they explain it is that finishing PvP matches and PvE matches will get you progress towards filling up a star, and once you play enough matches of either PvP or PvE, you will earn a star without having to have completed any challenges or objectives. So it should make it a lot less grindy going forward. Now onto the meat and potatoes of Tour of Duty, the content, the actual stuff you will be unlocking by getting these stars and finishing these challenges and objectives. They say that this is going to be jam-packed with the best stuff we've gotten in the last 2 operations, but like, I mean, that was kind of a given. Like, why would they go backwards? But 2 skins that they give us are Recruit Clayton, which kind of looks like Benjamin Clayton, to be honest, and the other one is going to be Hive Buster Cole. Those are 2 skins that they give us a sneak peek for the heroes, and the 2 skins that we're getting a sneak peek for the villains is going to be Armored Ronin Cantus, which was leaked a few weeks ago. Some people got a bug when playing Gears 5 that showed this skin for them, and the other one is going to be Collector's Palace Guard. Alright, well, that's basically all the information we have regarding content. They do mention a few skins, but they don't actually give us any pictures of them, so not going to go too deep into that. But one final thing is that not only are we going to get all this stuff that we have previously got in operations, but for the first time they're going to be giving us more achievements to unlock, if that's something you care about. I know in Gears 4 they started giving you free achievements for you to unlock, and what I mean by free is that, you know, it just required an update. In previous Gears of War games you had to buy DLC in order to get access to even unlocking these achievements, but in this time around we're actually just going to be able to earn them from the start. So this isn't everything that is to come to Operation 3. This was just kind of a small sneak peek. I know I say small, but it was a fairly large like patch notes to look over. But they're going to be going over more stuff on March 30th as well as March 26th. March 26th is going to be specifically talking about versus tuning. March 27th, they're going to be talking more about tuning as far as Horde goes and PvE game modes. And finally, on March 30th, we're going to get the full patch notes for Title Update 5, which is going to reveal those achievements that I mentioned earlier. This was a mouthful. This was a lot to take in, so I highly recommend you check out the link in the description below, because I kind of skimmed through everything, believe it or not. There is tons more stuff in here for you to take a look at. But let me know your thoughts on any of this. Let me know your thoughts on the characters we're getting. Are you happy with these characters, or did you wish we had gotten more? What are your thoughts on the returning map, Canals? Would you have preferred something like Gridlock or Blood Drive? I know those are fan favorites. And the new map, what are your thoughts on what the new map is going to play like, and some of these new cosmetics we're going to be getting? Let me know all that in the comments below. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out a lot. And as always, hope you have a good one, and catch you all next time.